enough City. How about some quick hits instead?
Let's do it.
Cuti Romero gets himself sent off inside a half an hour, and Manchester United roll to a 2-0 win over Tottenham Hotspur. Don, 6 red cards for Romero since he got to Spurs. That's who I want as my captain.
Yeah.
Or do you want to just rather praise United?
Both. I mean, Michael Carrick, what a job he's done. 4 wins on the spin. The boy on Instagram is 1 more win away from getting his hair chopped. I mean, he's made a mockery, really, Michael, of Ruben Amorim and the job that he done there.
For those who don't
useless.
know, there's a United fan who said he wouldn't cut his hair until United won 5 games in a row.
It's literally out here. What's he doing? What is Romero doing? He's an absolute liability. Do you remember when Mo Salah come out and he criticised Arne Slot and he criticised Liverpool? Liverpool then travelled to San Siro to play Inter Milan, dropped from the squad.
And everyone, wait, was this back when everybody agreed that 1,000% Mo Salah is going to Saudi? Everybody knew that. Everybody agreed.
I feel for Thomas Frank because if he takes him out the team and leaves him behind and Spurs lose the game, he's going to get hammered.
Sorry,
but now he's a liability.
Did he not know that this is how he operates? He did not know about this guy and his injuries, and then he goes off and gets training and ends up in some resort somewhere.
Who, Thomas Frank?
No, Romero.
Yeah, no.
Romero's whole history.
No, I know that.
You made him captain, bro. Own it.
But if Thomas Frank stays in the job, he'll be playing for Atletico Madrid in the summer. He will not be at Tottenham. Guarantees a liability.
But the fun fact about Tottenham is they've won 2 games in 2026, both against German oppositions. They could always apply to join the Bundesliga. Maybe they do other. Gotta go there, Don. No! I'm sorry. Dango Ouattara scores the late winner, and Brentford win 3-2 away to Newcastle. Bottom half of the table now.
It's painful now, Gab. I'm a massive Eddie Howe fan, and I hope Newcastle don't rush into any daft decisions by reading social media, because Newcastle fans are starting to turn, which I think it's absolutely ridiculous. It's been a poor season on the road, especially. Away form has not been great. And then the one thing I would always sit here and lean on is you can throw PSG, you can throw Real Madrid, Barcelona, Man City, Man United, Liverpool, anyone at St James's Park. I'll back Newcastle to win. Once they start losing now against Brentford at home, that's the worry.
How big a deal is the transfers? Because look, in the summer, he did not have a director of football, which some people suggest he didn't want one.
Yeah.
And did not have a chief executive, which I think is also really important in this. And you look at the signings in the summer. Yeah. Risso's injured, hasn't contributed much. Voltemade, probably not right to be the center forward.
Alanga for 55.
Alanga. There's a lot of fingers pointed at what happened and what the newcomers have offered.
I feel a little bit for Eddie Howe, because once the, whatever it was, 125 million came in for Isak, they had to buy, and they had to buy bodies, and they had to try and find quality. Other clubs knew that Newcastle were swilling in money, so they had to overpay on a lot of the signings. And on the face of it, when you see the names coming in, you thought, actually, after losing Isak, that's a pretty good window on what you think the quality and what you think the names that have come in.
Voltemade for 90 million?
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's excessive. Alanga, 55 million.
That's why
Wissa.
Eddie Howe, you cannot be a coach and a head of recruitment at the same time.
So, but
he was forced to do that.
Exactly. So you have to feel for him when he's trying to do his job, and then he's trying to deal with Isak not even training, coming away from camp. Then Isak goes, and it went to the last few days. Then he's got to try and find replacements. He's got to try and find quality. He's waiting on Brentford to see what Wissa's doing. I've got to say, not on Eddie Howe, but it's a bit of a mess.
Thank you, Donald Hutchison Howe. Victor Gyökeres comes off the bench to score twice as Arsenal defeat Sunderland 3-0. Don, Arteta marches on.
Oh, this was a test, Gab. This was a test. I thought Sunderland were absolutely brilliant in this game. They went man for man.
Even without Granit Xhaka.
No, they didn't need him. Siddiqui was amazing in midfield. Robbie was like a man possessed up front. They went man for man when Arsenal were trying to play it from the back, forced them to go long. They were aggressive in their tackles. It was a great game to commentate on. But Arsenal were just too big, too strong, too fast in the end.
And I'll tell you what, Gyökeres, I think he's now up to 8 goals.
Couple off the bench.
13, I think he's going to end up with 20 in all comps this season. I like the fact that, you can start with Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz coming from deeper.
Yeah.
And you got to worry about chasing little Jesus around.
Yeah.
And then this big dude comes off the bench. As a defender, it's as a change of pace. It's an adjustment.
Do you know what, Gab? I think in England, we get bogged down sometimes with a manager, what's his best 11? He's got to have a best 11. He must have a best 11. I don't think in this case Arteta's got a best 11. No. I think he'll chop and change. I think he'll look at the opposition.
I think it's Declan Rice and the 2 centre backs.
And the keeper.
And the keeper's ridiculously good.
And then you
even
go,
Saka and Odegaard, who we thought were critical to this team.
And you fill in the blanks from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Comes with the asterisk of 2 penalties, but Cole Palmer does get a hat trick as Chelsea win 3-1 at Wolves. Don, Rosignor has defeated everybody he has faced since taking over, other than Arsenal.
I think he's done an amazing job. I think he's done a great job. I think when you look at it on paper, he's doing the job. My takeaway from the Napoli game, and I felt for him a little bit because I understood, and it was understandable why he rested loads of players after the Napoli game, 3-day turnaround into the West Ham game. And they were outplayed in the first half against West Ham, who battered them really. Then he made the changes to bring his best players on at half time and end up winning the game against West Ham 3-2. His takeaway was that some of the guys that are on the bench are not as good as his first team players. So now,
you think?
No. But sometimes you could.
That was Maresca's takeaway too. That's why he didn't appreciate having Jamie Gittins shoved down everybody's throat.
But when you put so much into a game in Naples, then you play West Ham, it's understandable why you'd rest 3 or 4 players.
Right.
But then sometimes you realise actually, like my first team's so strong, like I've got to get these guys out of the pitch as much as possible, which seems to the layman very, very obvious. But what you can't do is keep playing the same first 11 over and over again, because then you get injuries.
That's not what Maresca did either, but sorry, I need to just move on from Maresca. I will say this, I think it's really interesting. Jules is convinced that you cannot play Enzo and Caicedo as a 2 in midfield. You need another guy in there, whether it's Reece James, of course, unavailable here, or Andre Santos. That's what we saw in this game, right?
Yeah, but you could play Caicedo, Enzo, and Palmer 10.
Yeah, Jules doesn't think you can.
And the Oracle says you can't do it that way.
Aston Villa held 1-1 at Bournemouth, Don. They're still third with a 3-point cushion over fourth, but are they losing steam?
Yeah, it's almost like they're a 100-metre sprint at Aston Villa and they're dipping for the line. They want the season to end tomorrow. They look a little bit fatigued, apart from Morgan Rogers, who's just like a phenomenal footballer.
And by the way, can we remind people that celebration that Cole Palmer does, and which he trademarked?
Yeah.
He copied that from Morgan Rogers.
So what happens then? Does Rogers get any sort of royalties from it?
I think they're friends because they were obviously teammates at Manchester City.
Yeah.
But
he must be thinking, hang on, you've patented that move.
He should cut him in.
Yeah. I think they're dipping for the line. I think the squad looks a little bit weak in terms of players being injured. Tielemans is a massive miss. I think he's like a brilliant football brain, high-level IQ, sensational player. But I just think that the last couple of results suggest that they might be they look a little bit tired.
Yeah. Douglas Luiz, not quite the same thing.
No.
Let's go to one of your old clubs, Don.
Which one?
Well, Everton come from behind to beat Fulham 2-1 with a bit of Moisey magic in the last 15 minutes, and also some help from Bernd Leno, who punches the ball into his own net. 5th place is just 6 points away. Are you dreaming that Champions League dream?
I mean, they're only a couple of points away from Liverpool as well. I mean, they would take finishing above Liverpool all day long. Because our coefficient is strong and it's 99.9% done that top 5 will get Champions League football. They can dream of European football. I think, in all honesty, I think they won't get Champions League. I think Chelsea are nailed on for that 5th position. But European football, I mean, why not? Moisey's been there before. He's took Everton there before. He's took West Ham there before. I don't know why he gets a bad rap.
Are you on the Conference League bus?
No, well, hey, that's what you play for. You play for European football. It doesn't matter which one it is. But I don't know why Moisey doesn't get a lot more love, in the job that he's done at Everton and West Ham.
Take it up with Jules.
Yeah.
Daily Telegraph reports that Tottenham Hotspur are looking to hire another director of football to sit alongside Johan Lange, especially now that Fabio Paratici has left, because, of course, you have to have 2 directors of football because one's not enough. Are you a fan of having multiple ones? I mean, look, Chelsea have 5 de facto ones. Look how good they're doing.
I'm telling you, Gab, I've said this for years, right? When I get reincarnated, I'm coming back as a sporting director.
But do you want to be one of 2?
No, but it's the 5. It's the easiest job in the world.
Is it?
Oh, of course it is, Gab. Imagine if you're a manager, right? And you say to me, right, Don, go and find me as the sporting director, 3 left backs. I go downstairs in the building to my scouting team, my data team. I go, right, guys, I want 3 left backs. Okay. They come up to me and go, here's your 3 left backs, Don. And I go, here you go, Gab. Here's your 3 left backs. Which ones you want? It's just it's the easiest job in the world.
I want the one that costs 100 million, Don. Do you know how to go?
Right, you can't have him. So here's the price. So data guys, right now, let's go to the CEO. Which one can we afford? You can't have the 100 million one. We can spend 55 million. Right, so there's 2 left out of 3? Yeah. Right, here, Gab. Here's 2 out of 3. Which ones you want? Honestly, man, it's the easiest job in the world.
I so disagree with you. I think it's not just about recruitment. It's also about being a liaison between the coach and
But you've got
and the
CEOs that
club.
you can lean on for the finances
Yeah,
and
I
stuff.
don't want the CEO giving a football opinion.
No,
Right?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying once you've done your job and finding Gab, the manager, the players, right, which one can we afford? Go and check it out with the CEO.
It's about knowing how to manage contracts. I think it is a big job. What's interesting here is that why do they need two, right?
Don't know.
So it's been suggested by some that Johan Lange heavily invested in Thomas Frank, maybe a little too close to Thomas Frank.
Right.
And maybe you need somebody else in to be the axeman.
Well, then that's going to conflict when the two of them sit in a room and have an argument.
Well, I don't.
Do we keep them? Do we not? Do we keep them? Do we not?
If things continue like this, I don't.
So which one of those two will have the power?
Well, the power ultimately is going to rest with ENIC, right, who own the club. But if Johan Lange is like, I am never recommending.
But can you imagine the scenario, right? Playing devil's advocate, the two sporting directors sit down with ENIC and they sit in a room and ENIC say what we're doing with Thomas Frank, and he goes, keep him, and he goes, get rid of him, and ENIC are going, well, which one? Who's got to say?
This is the absurdity. I think I think it helps to have a large group of people giving you input from different perspective and different skill sets, but there has to be one person making the decision,
definitely,
who is ultimately accountable and who's going to, be that voice to the ownership, to the CEO, and say, all right, this is what, as a team, we've decided, and ultimately I decided because I'm the one who's accountable, and these people report into me. And then, obviously, in the end, it's the club that rubber stamps or not.
So let's me and you come back as sporting directors.
There you go. I think we'd make an excellent team. Leicester City have been docked 6 points for breaching profit and sustainability rules. Don, I don't follow the championship, but I am reliably informed that they're in serious danger of slipping down to League One now. Yeah. You don't like these rules at all, do you?
Well, me and you have had that discussion for a long time. Yeah. I mean, I don't know the nuances of what Leicester's done.
They spent much more than they were supposed to have spent.
But apparently pretty bad as well.
And according to the investigators, they also didn't cooperate as fully as they should have.
There you go.
They actually wanted, I think, a 12-point ban or something like that.
And I think it was so sort of messy from what I'm read as well, as even if they got promoted back to the Premier League, the Premier League could then hit them with...
Yes.
It was nuts.
Absolutely. Ultimately, if the rules are there, I just told us before with the goal that was disallowed at Anfield, if the rules are there, they have to be followed, right? Whether you agree with them or not.
Nah, not for me.
All right. Let's go to another of your former clubs.
Which one, Gab?
West Ham win 2-0 away to Burnley. Now that, coupled with Nottingham Forest 3-0 defeat, means safety is now just 3 points away.
Come on, the Hammers.
You're a believer, aren't
100%.
you? You had that Nuno poster over your bed.
I'm not a Nuno fan, but I'm
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I think other than his immediate family, I don't think there's anybody in the world who's a Nuno fan. I can't imagine why.
It's just a bit weird, isn't it? It's just, I don't know if he's like too laid back or like you want him to show a bit of passion for the job or whatever. But what I would say, the signings have been brilliant. Castellanos been amazing. I only scored one goal, but the way he's led the line.
I was so shocked because ultimately it's Tati Castellanos and he laid a big turd at Lazio in the first 6 months of the year. I thought, what's going on?
Yeah. And he's led the line really well. I think he's took the pressure off Jared Bowen, who had to be sort of forced into playing false nine at times. I think the player that's looking like a Champions League footballer, in my opinion, is Fernandes in midfield.
I think
what a player.
West Ham's player of the season, right?
Oh, 100%. What a player. So the signings that they've made is galvanised
them. And the big boy, too, the forward.
Jesus?
Yeah. No, is it Jesus? Is it?
Jesus.
I thought it was Pedro or Pablo.
Pablo Jesus.
Yeah.
He's
a big unit.
Oh, he's a unit, yeah. So he tends to start. And the team and the shape sort of changed as well, where he plays 4-4-1-1. So he has those two boys off each other. But it's just made Jared Bowen into a better player. Not like having to lead the line when it's not his role back to goal. It's freed him up a little bit. The system's better. They look a little bit more, I wouldn't say solid, but they look a little bit better at the back by keeping things that little bit more simpler. So, yeah, I think when you analyse the job that he's done, I think it's been pretty sound. And I am a believer now that they can stay up 100%. Well, no, I can't say 100%, but I'm believing.
All right, give me percentages.
Well, 3 points ahead, Forest are, so a little way back. I'm going to go
13 games to go.
60-40 West Ham's favour.
Oh, you're trolling Mr. Marinakis.
I am.
You're trolling Mr. Marinakis. Not going to like that.